Hello, everybody. Well, now I have been looking at your things that you write online, and I have read your paragraph on population. First of all, I have to tell you, you have done a beautiful job. So this week, we're going to focus on making your paper even better. So let's start with some common mistakes in terms of writing sentences. I'm focusing on three and three only, and I want you to take a look at your sentences and make sure that they're all correct. One of the mistakes I have noticed is you using I in the lowercase. All right? We have to always capitalize the pronoun I. See here? In English, I is always capitalized. Okay. Now, another opportunity that you have to learn here is you make sure that you use periods to separate sentences, and make sure that you have simple, compound, and complex sentences. So let's take a look at these opportunities that you have given me. In 1800, don't forget to use a comma after the time expression or the place expression or whatever phrase before the subject you're using, according to the source, comma, in fact, comma, in 1800, comma, the Earth population was only 1 billion, comma, then it doubled to 2 billion in 1930, comma, then after just 44 years, the population doubled. So this here has to be separate sentences. First of all, the structure is beautiful. Whoever wrote this, I know the person, but you probably recognize your own sentences. This is beautiful. The only thing we need is to use periods to separate the complete thoughts. So, for example, the Earth population, that's my subject, was, that's my verb, only 1 billion. This is one thought, so I have to use a period, and then I capitalize the letter T. Then it doubled to 2 billion. So it is my subject, doubled is my verb, to 2 billion is my complement. In 1930 starts another thought, so you need a period right here and a capital letter. In 1930, we don't need then, so just like after just 44 years, good use of extra information separated by commas. Excellent. The population, it's my subject, doubles is my verb, again into 4 billion is my complement. So as you can see, you need to use periods, not commas, to separate your simple sentences. The majority of people, okay, the majority of people in the world, let me put in the world here, the majority of people in the world live, I don't know why ing, live in mega cities around the world. Every second, 5 people are born and to die. Today, there are over 7.6 billion people on the planet. How many complete ideas or complete thoughts do you see here? So let's analyze it. The majority of people in the world, this is my subject, live is my verb, in mega cities around the world. So here, I should have a period. Then, capital letter. Every second, 5 people are born and 2 die. That's another complete thought. Today, there are over 7.6 billion people on the planet. So the same as the other ones. You have several simple sentences, and you have to separate them with periods, not commas. Now, let's take a look at compound and perhaps complex sentences. Here, there's only one period, right here. So let's take a look at this to see if this is all one sentence, one complete thought, or if there's different complete thoughts right here. Today, I'm taking a risk in my career because I'm having a problem with my studies. Because lately I'm having distraction and I didn't focus on my studies and want to learn to be a good student. And I want to finish college because I want a good job, because my dream is. So have you seen how many different thoughts here? So what we're going to do, we have to separate those with periods, and we can only use one connector at a time. So I'm taking a risk in my career. That's a complete thought, because that's a connector. I'm having a problem with my studies. Then I have to use a period. I have to stop. So this is a compound sentence with because in the middle, a complex sentence with because in the middle. So subject, verb, complement, connector, subject, verb, complement, period. I cannot use because again. I just need to say, lately, I'm having distraction and I didn't focus on my studies. Stop. You already used one connector. Stop right here. Then you need to have a subject. I want to learn to be a good student and I want to finish college. Because I want a good job. Because my dream. See how many connectors and because you need to stop. So I want to learn to be a good student and I want to finish college because I want a good job. Okay. I can do here. So I'm using a coordinating conjunction, meaning this is a compound sentence. This is compound. Then I'm using because I want a good job. This is complex. It's okay. This is called compound complex sentence. It's when we put three ideas together and one compound plus one complex. It's called compound complex together. We can do that. Or we can simply separate it in here. We can say, I want to learn to be a good student and I want to finish college. I want to finish college. Actually, let's leave the because here because it's beautiful. Because I want a good job. Now let's remove the because and put my dream is to be the best chef. Now let's see how many sentences we have now. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 4 sentences. In the past, there was only 1. So make sure to separate your sentences with periods and to identify simple, compound, complex. Now, one little mistake that you guys have been making when you write compound and complex sentences, and that's very normal. That's very, very normal. It's because in Spanish, you don't need the subject on the second part of the sentence, but in English, you do. So if you have a compound or a complex sentence, you have a subject, a verb, and a complement, a connector, another subject, another verb, and a complement, right? With compound, you have when, if, because, subject, verb, complement, comma, subject, verb, complement. You have to have the subject on the second part of the sentence. So, in the past, the majority of people lived in rural areas. But, okay, the comma should be before but. But, what's your subject? Will probably, where is your verb? There is a subject and a verb missing here. Okay, I think the subject is 75% of the population. So let me move the subject to here. This is who I'm talking about. I'm talking about 75% of the population. The verb should be will probably live. Will probably live in urban areas. So don't forget to always have the subject in the second part of the sentence. Okay? Every time we are going to start a new page, who may need to use a new page to take notes? We, people, students. Let me put we. And then I have the subject on the second part of the sentence. When we take public transportation, who can lose weight? I think it's we, right? So you have to put we there. Even if the subject is the same, I think what you're doing is because it's the same subject, you are not including it on the second part of the sentence, but you have to. We are going to start a new page because we. So as you see here, the subject is repeated on the second part of the sentence. When we take public transportation, we can lose weight. Using public transportation can be good for your health. And what's the subject? Can also be good for your pocket. I think the subject here is public transportation. I don't want to repeat public transportation and public transportation. I can say it. Okay? So this is my subject on the first part of the sentence. This is my subject on the second part of the sentence. So this is your handout today. All right? So Always capitalize the pronoun I. Use periods to separate sentences. Make sure you have simple, compound, and complex sentences. And when you write compound and complex sentences, make sure you have a subject on the second part of the sentence. Alrighty, that's all for now.